Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today for a new kind of video. So this is a chatty, get ready with me type of video. A few of you guys have expressed interest in my makeup routine and kind of how I do my makeup, which is awesome. And I do not think that I'm necessarily on a tutorial level, nor do I have like the camera filming equipment to do that, but I do think I could do my makeup and maybe talk about some things that are on my mind. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, stick around. First, I am going to pin my hair out of the way so that I can do my foundation at some point. So if I look ridiculous, sorry. So, first I'm gonna just prime my face. I've got this ridiculously expensive Tatcha primer that I have to use. I like it. I would not recommend spending $50 on it. You don't need it. I didn't need it either, but here we are. So what I actually wanted to talk about today was body positivity after losing a lot of weight. I mean, specifically after weight loss surgery, but more generally, just like what, kind of like looking at body positivity on the other side of things, if that makes sense. So, also sorry if I don't like necessarily look, sometimes I'm like looking to, you know, make sure that I'm doing my face. I don't know how many of you guys have seen the show Shrill. It is on Hulu and it has Adie Bryant, who's awesome. She's on SNL and she's in other stuff as well. And it's just like 6 30-minute episodes, so it's very quick to watch. I mean, I've been thinking about this topic for a while now, but that was definitely one of the things that really made me think more about it. Thought that the show was really interesting. This is just like a generic eye primer. And I mean, I definitely would recommend it. I would say like, I mean, within like the first 30 seconds, it was just stuff that like really spoke to me as someone who has been overweight for almost my entire life, and you know, grew up, spent my adulthood not even just overweight but obese, right? The past year, not even the full past year, but you know, only since weight loss surgery have I experienced life anything other than that. I am gonna go ahead and use, this is the Fenty Pro Filt'r foundation. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of more of a matte foundation, so really dry skin might not work well for you, but I have combination skin on the oily side of the spectrum and I love it. Anyways, I've always been, I guess, a proponent of body positivity, but I just don't know that I don't think I necessarily agree with the way that maybe it's like more commonly portrayed in the media. And what I mean by that is that I guess it kind of comes to this whole like health at any size thing, which I just don't agree with. I don't think that if you are overweight or even like really lightly obese, if you're like, you know, at a 35 or, you know, I don't think that necessarily means that you are super unhealthy, but I just think that acting, and I definitely think that that you can be a thin person and be super unhealthy. But I just think that pretending that living your life as someone who is obese or morbidly obese, that isn't going to have long-term effects on your health, even if it maybe doesn't right this second, is just wrong. You know, I don't think that I think that does everyone a disservice, and I don't think that saying that and acknowledging that there are health risks is inherently shaming. I don't think that it's body shaming to acknowledge that there are health risks associated with being morbidly obese. And I don't think that anyone has, I don't even know if the right is the right term. I do think that people who use health as an argument are are not really saying it for health reasons. You know, like they're like, oh, I'm only concerned about your health. And I'm like, no, you're not. That's bullshit. Like, you don't give a shit about my health. But I also think that it's harmful to say like, I can be 350 pounds and healthy. No. Now, if you are 350 pounds and you are fine with that and you don't want to change, and you're not willing to change, like, that's your business. That's totally fine. And I was there for a very long time. I was not ready to lose weight until I got surgery, essentially, you know? But like, I also, when I was 300 pounds, 300 plus pounds, was not claiming to be healthy. And that's what kind of gets me, is like, I was aware that I was fat and like aware of the, I guess, risks. I wasn't pretending I was anything I wasn't. And I guess my thing with body positivity is that I think that everyone has the right to feel good about their bodies and like not to feel shamed for looking the way they do. That they have the right not only to not be shamed, but also have the right to like not face discrimination because of it, you know, and which we do see in the healthcare community, in jobs, like, right, people who are fat are discriminated against, and I think that is absolutely not okay. So I mean, that's like the biggest issue. And then the second issue is, I think that no matter what size you are, you have the right, you know, you're lovable, you are worthy of love, and that the message that our society sends, which it does do, that you're not lovable if you aren't a smaller size, is super harmful. So I think that not only, you know, like, we need to work on like the systematic discrimination against fat people, especially since it is one of the like, discrimination against fat people is one of the like last acceptable forms of discrimination, right? Like, people aren't even hiding it, and you know, because they just care about our health. But yeah, I also think that people have the right to feel good about themselves, and also to not change if they don't want to. You know, like, it's not any of my or anyone else's business whether or not if someone says that they're happy at their weight and like don't want to change. And I think whether, you know, like, we could talk all about like if people can be truly happy being morbidly obese, and there are lots of thoughts on this. I would say that when I was morbidly obese, I was not unhappy, but I think that I was not as happy as I am now because I just didn't know any better. You know, like, I'd been that size my entire life, and so I just had no experience with anything else. But I also think there's a difference between, you know, perhaps some of these people are not genuinely happy. Maybe they don't know that they're not happy. But again, like, that's not our business. And people are not gonna, I think what it really is, it comes down to is like, are you willing to change to lose weight? And I think when a lot of people say like, I'm happy at my weight, what they're really saying is, I am not willing to change my behaviors to lose weight. And I think that's a valid thing, you know? Again, like I said, like, I was there. I was, for a very long time, unwilling to change my eating habits and unwilling to change my movement habits. Like, and even, you know, even now, like, I've said in videos, like, how sometimes I miss being able to, like, miss the freedom that comes with allowing myself permission to kind of like eat whatever I want, whenever I want to. Not enough that I'm gonna go back to that, but it is a, you know, like, there's a reason why we have an obesity epidemic. and like why so many people struggle. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned this. Was the concealer I used was the Tarte Shape Tape, one of my favorites, and the powder I'm setting with right now is the Fenty powder, and this is in the shade Butter. I think that's kind of where, shit, well, that's dead to me, where I struggle a little bit. I think where I really struggle is with like the concept of being healthy at any size, because I just don't, like, I think that that's wrong, just flat out wrong, and like dangerous. But I also just think, you know, like my whole thing is just in kind of all aspects of life, like I just don't get why everyone has to be so up in everyone else's business. Like, just let people live their lives, right? Like it can apply so broadly to so many different things, but it's just like, why do you care? Why is this your business? Like, if someone wants to be fat, let them be fat. Or if they are, you know, like, it literally does not affect you. Other than you don't want to have to look at a fat person. And I'm like, grow the fuck up. That is all I've got to say about that. But, okay. We are going to see if I can do my brows with this setup. TBD. I've got this like mirror thing set up here, but I think you can still see me, but like, sorry if I like go out of frame. But I am using the Anastasia DIPBROW, and I'm gonna do my brows. Eek. And I'm gonna be a little bit quieter at this part because brows are hard. Or they're just like finicky, I guess, is what I should say. We are gonna do eyes. But first I'm going to bake the under eyes. Mostly I'm doing this actually to avoid any potential fallout, but I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So, yeah, I've talked a little bit about my concerns, my issues with the overall body positivity movement as it stands. But I also think part of my, sorry, I just got like powder all over my face, and well, duh, that's where I want it. All over my not face. Also, did I just turn very orange, or is that just me? Maybe it's just me. I'm not actually bronzed yet, so maybe that this is overkill, rather premature, but I'm doing it anyway. So I'm gonna do my eyes, and I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know if you can see. I just bought this. I have no strong feelings on Jaclyn Hill either way. There has been some drama, if you're paying attention, with her recent launch. I didn't buy anything. I know nothing about that. I've just heard good things about this palette and like needed a neutral palette, but I did want to acknowledge that there has been some controversy surrounding her, so I'm not necessarily endorsing her. I am just gonna take, I'm not gonna narrate what I'm doing. You guys can just watch, I guess. I guess I have some feels about, sort of specifically about the body positivity community and like weight loss surgery and losing weight. You know, like I do feel like a good amount of people who've had, you know, weight loss surgery are often criticized for not being, you know, for everything, right? Like we get all of the shit, but for not being body positive. You know, I've heard some body positive advocates saying things like before and after pictures are inherently they are toxic and, you know, inherently not body positive. And like I can see where they are coming from, but also I disagree. And I find it frustrating as a person who likes to consider themselves body positive and who, you know, like spent so long living life as someone who was morbidly obese, and then like made this life-changing and like, brave sounds like I'm really like tooting my own horn, but like, yeah, it was a brave decision to like get surgery because I knew that I wanted to lose the weight and that like that was going to be better for me and healthier for me, and I knew I couldn't do it on my own. And like, I guess I don't really drive with this idea that like I am still working on self-love, right? Like that is kind of, I don't know that I'm like mastered that yet, but this idea that body positivity means like you can't ever want to change your body, like I just don't get that, right? Like I can be capable of loving myself and my body and like want to change things about it and like not have that be unhealthy, right? I mean, I think I can. I mean, I think I'm also struggling with this in terms of like plastic surgery, you know, like that is something that I want. And while certainly some of it is a quality of life and like ability to like function in terms, you know, like my stomach skin really does make living life more difficult, makes doing the things I want to do and like wearing clothes, working out, all of that is more difficult with the skin. But like my arm skin, like it doesn't prevent me from doing anything. That is entirely cosmetic, you know? I would actually argue my boobs are less cosmetic even than my arms, just because like they don't fit into bras, like bras are not made for empty sacks of skin. You know, like that does impede my ability to like clothe myself. And like, you know, a lot of it is, it's like a confidence thing. It's a feeling good in my body thing. And so it's like, can I be body positive? Can I love my body if I'm like wanting to change it? And like, I want to believe so, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's easier with a weight loss because it was such a, like I did do it for health reasons. Like I had diabetes and I no longer have diabetes. So, I mean, like there were some very real health consequences, but it's a little bit harder with skin removal and also just with like the last little bit of weight I'm trying to lose. Which realistically is cosmetic. My quality of life, my ability to do things is not going to significantly change if I lose another 15 pounds. I mean, it's gonna make things like doing certain poses in yoga easier, but like, in the scheme of things, it's not gonna have a huge impact beyond me feeling a little bit more confident. And like, yeah, I wonder, like, is there, what's wrong with, I mean, and I'm saying like, what's wrong when, I know it's wrong with it. Like, it's fucking the society / the patriarchy telling us that we have to look a certain way in order to be considered human, that if we're not desirable, then we aren't worthy of anything, you know? And like, I do think that that is worth fighting back against. So then I do have like some struggle about the fact that I do still, like, I can acknowledge that and still want to look more of a certain way. And it's like, I'm not ever looking like a Victoria's Secret model, right? Like even when I get skin surgery, like I'm getting some of the big things removed, but like they're not gonna be able to fix the fact that like everywhere on my body does this, you know, like there's like a fine layer of skin everywhere. Like that's not changing. They can't remove it everywhere, and then the scars would be worse than the skin. So I don't want them to. I don't know. These are the things I contemplate. And like, I think it's also hard because my sister, who is like the person that I care about most in the world, is still like morbidly obese, right? And so I still have, I guess, that connection to, I'm still able to stay aware of the way in which she is affected. And like, I do try to keep myself aware of that, you know, like I don't want to forget where I came from, if that makes sense. I don't want to turn into someone who is super judgmental of people who are bigger, who forgets like what it felt like to live life at that size. And the thing is like, I can see how it would be easy to do that because already, I mean, it is insane a little bit when I think about, like, I have not been this size for very long in the scheme of things, like by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, compared to like literally, you know, 27 years of morbid obesity. I mean, I wasn't morbidly obese all 27 of those years, but like all of them that I can like really remember, certainly all the adult ones. And yet, like, sometimes that person who I was for so long feels so far away. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if I want to do a little pop of something else on top. I think I do. It's crazy how easy it is almost to forget. Or just, I don't know, not even necessarily like forget. I don't know that I've like forgotten, but like it's easy to, I guess, move on. To get used to what I look like now, to like what life is like now. Like it's so much easier than I ever would have thought, you know, like, because I remember I never thought that this would be my life. Like I never thought that I would look like this. You know, like I truly thought that I would be the size I was. Like I thought that that was gonna just be my life forever. I had no real reason to think otherwise. Like, I mean, like, I just honestly had sort of resigned myself to it. And so to not only like be here, but to have adjusted to it what feels like so quickly is kind of mind-boggling to me. Not that I don't like suffer from dysmorphia or, you know, sometimes feel like I am back at my old weight, which I do, or not necessarily back all the way there. I don't know, I think I was just like, this is kind of almost how I saw myself. Like this was just who I was inside, and that's made adjusting to living like that, to seeing this in the mirror, and into just experiencing life at this weight, like easier to adjust to, I guess. Like it's not, and it's weird because like, I mean, I say it's not as big of an adjustment as I thought, but I also just don't even know. I also feel like I don't know where I fit anymore. Like when people see me on the streets, you know, who don't know me, I don't know how they categorize me. Am I a normal sized person? Am I a little bit bigger, but like not that big? And I don't feel like I'm a normal sized person. I do think that part of that is influenced by the fact that I do, like I've got a broader frame. I am not ever gonna be a tiny slip of a girl. You know, like even if I lost even more weight. Like I just, like my shoulders are still pretty broad, like, and other than there's like some loose skin here, like they're not getting any smaller. This is bone. I'm still gonna have that size, I guess. I'm using the Too Faced Sun Bunny bronzer. So yeah, I don't know. I'm contemplative, it sounds like, clearly. But just sort of like thinking about things, you know. This is the black ColourPop liner in black, duh. Sorry if this freaks some of y'all out. Sorry, I think I've mostly reached the end of my topic, but I want to finish up my makeup so that you guys can like see everything. So I'm gonna like speed through some of this stuff, but let's see. The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. Sorry. Am I sorry? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, this is the 24-hour brow setter gel from Benefit. And I'm just setting my brows in place. All right, so that's mostly done. We've just got cheeks and eyes left, or sorry, lips left. So for cheeks, I think I'm gonna use, so this is my MAC Mineralized blush in Like Me, Love Me. It's this nice like pinky corally color. I think will go nicely. All right, and then for highlight, let's go with Ofra. So this is the Ofra highlight in Star Island. All right, so I think that's good for everything but the lips. So, all right, so this is the 24/7 Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Insanity. And then I've got the MAC lipstick in Velvet Teddy. This is the MAC lipstick in Hue, and I'm gonna put that in right in the center of my lip. Then we're gonna take the Gloss Bomb. Ooh, I don't know, got everywhere. In Fenty Glow. All right, guys, and there you have it. A look done on my face. And I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of chatty get ready with me. Obviously it was a little bit rambling, kind of all over the place, but that's sort of the point. I am happy to do more of these if you guys are interested. If you guys have thoughts on topics I can talk about while getting ready, let me know. If there are any changes to this format you'd like to see, let me know that as well. I could do like a live as well, if that would be something that people would be interested in. Like, instead of filming this solo, I could do it while people are watching. I don't know that I have like enough people who'll be interested in watching to warrant a live, but I could always do one if y'all are interested. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys are doing well. I will talk to you all very soon.